It's really amazing. Yeah.
Hey, Pete Brown, what did we just pass?
What?
Okay, you're recording you.
We just passed the Zekiah Swamp,
And tell me about that. Why is that important?
where John Wilkes Booth escaped on his way to Virginia after assassinating President Lincoln.
Really?
And while they were chasing him after he was repaired by Dr. Mudd, many Union soldiers died in the swamp trying to...
Like how many, possibly?
Like 22 or 23.
23 or 100 or just 23?
No, 22 or 23. I mean,
Oh.
they're just chasing a guy.
Right.
And they got lost.
It's treacherous.
There's a lot of quicksand in there.
Really?
Yeah. It's nasty.
So what is the other local history of John Wilkes Booth in here? Can you tell the story?
This is where he came after he escaped from Washington. He came down here because they think that Confederate sympathizers were willing to help him get his way back to Virginia. And that's why he stopped at Dr. Mudd's house, because they were Confederate sympathizers.
Now, did Dr. Mudd help him? Was he injured?
Yeah, he broke his leg when he jumped off the stage.
Oh.
And Dr. Mudd reset his leg at
Okay.
3 in the morning.
Do you think he did it willingly?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
To
think
help?
so. Don't
So,
you?
what
Yeah.
town was Dr. Mudd in?
No, I don't know the name of the town. Is it Charlotte Hall? Could have been Waldorf. I'm not sure the
Okay,
exact
Waldorf.
name.
So it's
But
around here. Yeah.
We're in that territory right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the river earlier today.
the Potomac River.
Mm-hmm.
When John Wilkes Booth went to cross the Potomac River,
To get to Virginia.
it took him about 5 days to finally get across. The first time he tried, he went out into the middle of the river, but they got lost and they thought they were going to the other side, but they wound up back on the Maryland side unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And what they were afraid of was that the Union gunboats would find them, so they would only make the trip at night. And that's why he got
Look
lost.
to see.
So he rounded around and came back out to Virginia. Is that what you're saying?
And then the next day,
Oh no, back to Maryland.
yeah,
Okay.
back to Maryland. Then the next day, he made it across, or the next night,
Mm-hmm.
they made it across.
In a boat. In
In a really small boat.
small.
Okay. And
Across the
so,
Potomac.
so what happened to him after he got to Virginia?
Then he got another horse from some Confederate sympathizers, because now he's in Virginia. He got another horse he was with another assassin accomplice, and they rode what is now Route 301. They rode that on their horses,
And stayed at a barn.
and they stayed at a barn near Fort A.P. Hill. Today it's called Fort A.P. Hill.
How far is that from where you live, do you think?
60 miles? About 60 miles.
Inland or south?
It's just south.
Over
Okay.
the river.
Over the river.
Through the woods.
So all in all, he got about 80 miles from Washington, D.C., which is pretty far, when
Mhm.
you think about it, with a broken leg.
On horse.
And anyway, so they spent the night in this farm called the Garrett's Farm, and the Union soldiers caught up to them in the barn, and they torched the barn while they were inside it
They said, come out.
to get them out.
Yeah,
They said,
because
we're going to burn the barn unless you
said
come
no.
out.
They said no.
Booth said, nope, I'm not coming out. And the other guy said, yeah, I am coming out. And he did go out. And he was eventually hung. But Booth was shot inside the barn. It was kind of a mistake. They were given orders not to shoot and kill him because they wanted him to go through the process
Legal
of a
process.
jury trial. But one of the, actually I think the soldier was from Massachusetts that shot him. It was either, I'm not sure.
New England, maybe?
I think he was from Massachusetts. And he shot him. And like 3 or 4 hours later, Booth died.
From the wound or from the fire?
From the bullet
No,
wound.
from the bullet wound, not from the leg.
But did they torch? They did set
Burned
fire
the barn.
to
He
the.
burned the barn to the ground.
Okay.
And there's a marker on that
I
road.
showed her the mark.
Yeah.
So that's the picture that we're attaching to this video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
That's the story. And now
Coming by a thing that say Dr. Mudd's house.
Dr. Mudd's house is up here,
Okay.
about
You'll see the sign.
3 miles from here. See that big tower up there? It's hard to see.
Okay. There's a tower up there somewhere. Okay.
Right through there. See that tower?
Hold on. Okay. Very far away. Little tower.
Dr. Mudd's
okay.
house is past that. And here's a sign.
Okay.
Dr.
Here's
Mudd's
the
house.
sign. Can you
Going
see it?
slow.
Dr. Mudd's house. Okay. We got it.
There you go.
That's cool. So you were telling me also, just as an addendum, that your place or your county was, what was that story about the sympathizers?
Confederate sympathizers.
And yet it was above the line?
It's below the Mason-Dixon line, so that was really...
No, it was above, you were saying, about the Indians and
It's below the Mason-Dixon line,
the
but
prisoners,
Maryland
no, the
was
slaves.
considered a northern state.
It's considered.
But
Right.
in our county, it was totally Southern sympathizers. And I was telling you, in the election of 1864, one man in the county voted for President Lincoln, and he was killed the following day. That's it.
And what about the prison? You talked about
So
slaves
they built
in
a
the
prison in the county at the end.
The Union soldiers built it?
Yeah, the Union built the prison. It's called Point Lookout Prison. And they took all the men in the county and they put them in the prison. And they put their slaves as their overseers, as their guards.
Wow.
And many thousands died in that prison.
Fair enough.
And you said there's a hospital, was there, or is
There
it
was a
still there?
hospital there as well for Union troops that were killed in the Virginia campaign.
Okay.
So they would get them across the river, put the Union troops in the hospital, and they kept all the Confederates in the prison, all in one area.
And which river was that? They were...
Potomac River.
Okay.
Potomac River. And the lighthouse was there.
There's a lighthouse there.
And now it's a hallowed ground because they lost so many people there because they killed them all.
Was it Union?
and the
Union
light-
or Confederate?
Well,
ground?
In the hospital, a lot of Union soldiers died
Mhm.
because they were wounded. And in the prison, a lot of Confederate sympathizers and Confederate soldiers died because it was poor conditions, bad food, malaria, everything.
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. Oh, it was awful. That's
So that's a highlight.
and the lighthouse is theoretically haunted. What's that TV show where they come in and they
I know it's Ghost.
They-
No, it's
they
not
can
Ghost.
sense the spirits and all that? They've been there to that lighthouse
Mhm.
and filmed it, and people say that they see the ghosts all the time.
I think those guys are from New England.
I think they are.
I think they are. I know what show you're talking about.
Yeah.
Can't think of the name.
The people that go there say there are ghosts all the time there, especially at night.
But it's closed, so it's only open once a year.
Except for the ghosts.
Except for the
They have free admission.
Right.
Now, do they say these ghosts are in uniform or anything silly
No,
like that?
not necessarily.
They're naked ghosts.
And there's in Halloween, there's an organization that has a special fundraiser for Ghosts of Point Lookout. And they dress up as Confederate soldiers and people.
So the fundraiser, it's for the place, but it's not for
It's
the
to
real.
keep the...
But they
It's
don't
on
give
the-
the ghosts the money.
It's on those grounds.
No, they give
they
it-
give the ghosts money.
give it to the maintenance people
To keep them
lighthouse alive.
functioning. Okay.
Excuse me.
They want them to get ice cream.
There's nothing there.
That's
You
too
go
funny.
there. It's right there. Run out of time.
That's cute.
We're going to run out of time. But it's really interesting.
You'll have to come back.
Any other Civil War trivia from this area that you live in?
You can't think of anything else, honey?
Well, if you think of anything, we will return.
Okay.
Signing off.